What's up, boys? It's Dual Factory once again in another video, and today I have a Cyber Dragon deck profile for you. This is one of my favorite decks. I have all these beautifully foiled out Cyber Dragon cards, signed by the now retired Yugi No, which I'm very proud of, and you hear every time I show you my Ulti Cyber Dragon cards, but I actually have a lot more of the stuff signed for you. So I have the nicest damaged cards you'll ever see. I always find that fun to say. But I always find that the Cyber Dragon deck profiles always get a lot of views, and I thought there was not a better time to give you one of these deck profiles than now, because we recently just got new support, and I think the support's honestly really good. I don't think it gives the deck enough to be able to be super competitive, but I think it's a step in the right direction, especially since we are still waiting to get that V-Jump promo. The one, I think it's like a revival for like light machine type monsters. It'll be really good in this deck. But for now, this is what we have. This is what I wanted to show you, and we'll go ahead and get straight into the deck profile. So to start off, you have 3 of the namesake of the deck, 3 Cyber Dragon. I'd like to make sure I got these centered for you real quick. But yeah, you have 3 namesake of the card, like you said, Ulti first, signed by Yugi No. God rest that man's soul. Anyway, 3 Cyber Dragons, 3 namesake of the deck, 3 copies of Cyber Dragon Core. This is your searcher for your cyber spells and traps. We just recently got Cyber Emergency, and this can search Cyber Emergency, and I think that's really good. The card itself is insane, and this card just got a lot better because it now has like a very viable card to search other than Cyber Repair Plant. 3 copies of Hertz. This is one of the new monsters. For those of you who don't know, whenever this card's special summoned, it can turn itself into a level 5, but you can only special summon machines for the rest of the turn. I think this one also has an effect where it pumps them up. I can't remember if this one increases its attack and defense or not. But its other effect is whenever it goes to the graveyard, you can add a Cyber Dragon from your deck or graveyard back to hand. And it's really cool in tandem with Galaxy Soldier, because you can chain block the Galaxy Soldier so they can't Ogre or Ash it so your play goes through. So that's really cool. And then the last quote-unquote Cyber Dragon card we play for the monsters, I play 1 Cyber Eleton. This card is insane for breaking extra links, and you can literally break an extra link by simply opening a Cyber Dragon Core now, and that is insane. So we play 10 Cybers. You can make the argument that I should be probably playing Veer or Dre. I don't really see the necessity to play those cards, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for that, but I just think these are the best 10 for this Cyber Dragon hammer that you should be playing in your main deck right now. That's always subject to change, but that's just how I feel personally, so that's my explanation behind that. Then I also play 3 copies of Galaxy Soldier. This card's are really good for machine type based decks that are trying to go in Cyber Dragon Infinity, such as Cyber Dragons. The biggest problem with it, though, is it getting Ashed or getting Ogred, and that's why I think this card got a lot better. Because of Cyber Dragon Hertz, so you can chain block now, so I just think it got infinitely better with the release of Hertz. And that's it for we'll say the engine cards. And then the hand traps, still playing 3 Ash. And we're also playing 2 copies of Ogre. Like I said, the card just continually gets better and better every time I play it right now, especially with Goki being the best deck. It also has added synergy in this deck because it's a light, so you can discard it for Galaxy Soldier if need be. So that's a really cool interaction. And then that's it for the monsters. On to the spells. We have 3 copies of Cyber Emergency. This is what searches all your Cyber Dragon cards and light machine type monsters that cannot be normal summoned, so keep that in mind. That's how you search Cyber Eleton with this card. It's an infinitely better search card than Cyber Repair Plan is, and it's kind of cool because if your opponent does negates activation, you can discard a card and add it back to your hand. You can activate it again. Note, if it gets Mechaba negated or if it gets Trigate negated, it will get banned, so that effect will not activate. I'm well aware of that. However, any other case scenario where it gets negated, it destroys and sent to the graveyard, discard a card, add it back, and you can activate it again. So it's really good. And then the other new spell we're only playing 1, is we're playing 1 copy of Cyber Res System. Before anyone gets into it, I'm aware you can activate more than 1 per turn. The only problem is, no part of me ever wants to open up this card, especially so it's only good to open it in hands that your hand's already broken. If you don't have any starter cards or anything to actually go off with, it just sits in your hand doing nothing. That being said, it is a searchable monster reborn for Cyber Dragons, and I am still going to play it. Right now, I think 1's the best number for it, but like I said, that's always subject to change. And then we're only playing 1 copy of Cyber Repair Plant. Before we had Cyber Emergency, we would be playing more of this. The problem is, it is a hard once per turn, which is, it's understandable. A lot of search cards are hard once per turn. But the other thing is you have to have a Cyber Dragon in the graveyard to even activate the card, and sometimes your hand just doesn't facilitate that. So I think 1's the perfect number. It's searchable at will whenever you need it. And it does search Galaxy Soldier out of your deck, and it's a searchable way to get a Galaxy Soldier because you have 3 Cyber Emergencies and you have 3 Cyber Dragon Core. So if you're also playing Cyber Power Plant, you can effectively think of it as playing 10 copies. So that being said, there's that. I am playing 2 copies of Overload Fusion. Fun fact, Ultimate Rare First Ed Overload Fusion lets you resolve Power Bond from the deck. Just kidding. But it's honestly really broken. I kind of want to play 3. When you open multiples of it, it's really bad, and you're only playing 2 targets in your extra deck to summon it. But the card is so powerful that it probably warrants playing 3. I don't know. I think 2 is the safe number to play right now. But I don't know. But when you resolve it, it's usually game because Chimera Tech. I can't remember his name. The one that attacks 3 times, it's busted. One of my favorite cards, you get to play 3 copies of Machine Duplication. With the addition of Hertz, we now have 6 monsters that you can Machine Duplication into 2 other copies of Cyber Dragon on the field. And that is broken. For the other supporting cards, we are playing Sky Striker cards. We're playing 3 Engage, 3 Hornets, and 1 Afterburner. The big thing that the Sky Striker engine facilitates with this deck is the fact that the monsters you can make out of the tokens are machine-type monsters, and that lets you make Zeger. Also, it makes monsters that can be linked to a summon sork that summons more machines out of your deck. That is the biggest thing about this engine, and I think you should be playing it if you're going to play this deck, and if you want to play it at a competitive level. Which I don't think you should be taking this deck to events and stuff like that. But if you are going to at a competitive level, I would definitely and strongly encourage playing this engine. Simply because it facilitates the other need of a machine-type monster to make Zeker and whatnot. So there's that. And then for the last spell in the deck, we play 1 Foolish Burial. Being able to have Core in the graveyard is actually really good. And being able to proc your Hertz is really good. Another thing you can do is, say you open Machine Duplication, but you don't open that, but you have this, you can use Foolish Burial to send Core, and you can banish Core to summon another copy of itself, or Hertz, depending on what and then you have your Machine Dupe play live to you, so keep that in mind. For the traps, we're playing 2 of the new ones, Cybernetic Overflow. This card is insane. What it reads is you can banish Cyber Dragons with different levels from your graveyard, hand, or field. Doesn't matter where they are, you can banish them, as long as they're different level, and you can destroy a card for each one that you banished. The fun fact about this is it does not banish as a cost, and it does not target. So they have to respond to this when you flip it. Another part of it that a lot of people don't know is when it's destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can add 1 Cyber Spell or Trap card from your deck to your hand. So a lot of the times you'll have it set and your opponent will blind Twin Twister it or try to hit it with a Nightmare Phoenix. You can chain it, get the pops, and then you get a search for a Cyber Emergency, Cyber Repair Plant, Cyber Rev System, so on and so forth. So this card is actually insane. I might cut it down to 1 because it is searchable and you kind of want to go second in this deck, but I believe because of this card, it gives you the ability to go first if necessary. So there's that. And then I'm also playing 2 copies of Impermanence because Goki's the best deck. Sky Striker Trickstar's on the down right now. I think the card's just insane, and I think it's perfect in a strategy like this. So that is the main deck. On to the extra, my boy. We're playing 1 Chimera Tech Mega Fleet. I kind of want to play a second one, and there has been situations that have required a second one. I just haven't taken the time to pick a second one up, but right now, the one's perfectly fine for the time being. 1 Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. This is in case you play something on a mirror, something that's machine-based, or if you're playing against Invoke, this does clear Mechaba. Keep that in mind. And the last fusion that we play is, we play 2 Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon, the monster that I couldn't mention the name of earlier. This card's insane. If it hits the field and it resolves, it's game every single time. And then another cool thing you can do, as I was mentioning earlier, if you could play an extra Cyber Dragon like Veer or Dre, if you fusion summon this with Overload Fusion by banishing a Dre, you can activate Chimera Tech's effect as Chain Link 1 to destroy spell and trap cards for as many monsters used for his fusion summon, and then Chain Link 2, you can activate Dre, targeting Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon, so it's unaffected by card effect, and since Dre's Chain Link 2, they can't ogre this. So that's a really good interaction, and it's worth mentioning that you could probably play Dre. I just, like I said, I don't think there's room to play an extra Cyber Dragon name, but that's a really cool interaction. 1 Pleiades, best rank 5. It's insane. Like, I love this card. Two copies of Nova. This card's just as insane as Rampage. You can steal games with it by itself. It revives your Cyber Dragon card, so it can revive Seagram's, fun stuff like that. Like, this card's insane. And then, obviously, if you're playing Nova, you gotta play Infinity, because once you're done with your Nova, you can make a Solemn Judgment, and this card's really good. For your links, like I was saying, you play 1 Summon Sork. I'm playing 2 Seekers right now. You could probably make the argument to cut down to 1, but there are some situations that you might need a second. But I think for all practicality, 2 is probably fine. Not 2, but 1's probably fine, but I'm playing 2 right now. 1 Link Kribo. Hertz can turn into this and get you a free search for a Cyber Dragon if you need it. Keep that. And it's also a way to, you can make a Link Kribo, negate an attack. And then, cool thing is, like, you can have a Hertz on the field. Tribute the Hertz, make this, add a Cyber Dragon, 0 out another monster. It's a way to get a search on your opponent's turn, and it's a way just to manage your resources. That's why I like Link Kribo in this deck. And I play 2 Sky Striker monsters, a Kagari and Hayate. You don't really use the Hayate's effect. The big reason that you have it is sometimes you need 2 named Sky Striker extra deck monsters in order to fulfill your combos, so that's why we're playing 2 names. And that was my Cyber Dragon deck profile, guys. Always remember to like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully I'll have some more profiles for you later in the day. Oh, not later in the day, but later in the week. Hopefully I'll have some more matches for you. So on and so forth. If you haven't checked out the Facebook page, go ahead and check that. I usually post every day. So you get an idea of what I'm going to have going on for you. But as always, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.